Welcome on in, everybody, here to the first pregame blitz of the season at Auburn Undercover. Nathan King, joined by Jason Caldwell here in Waco, Texas, McLane Stadium for Auburn and Baylor, season opener we've been looking forward to for a long time. Feels weird to be, traveling and doing all this stuff a day early. No games to listen to on the radio because it's not Saturday. It is a Friday night opener. It's a hot one. Woo. It's going to be a blackout in McLane Stadium, bringing back the chrome helmets. A lot of anticipation on both sides, Jason, for this game. We can hear the Tiger Walk folks right outside the stadium getting ready to go. It's finally here, and now we get to see whether all these roster upgrades and everything Auburn's been working on to have what they think can be their best year yet under Hugh Freeze. It's going to get off to a start tonight against what we expect to be a pretty good Baylor team.
Yeah, and can you weather storms? Because in opening games, we saw it last night, we saw it last weekend. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be issues. You're going to have some things like that. Can you weather those moments and still come out on top? That's the key. Honestly, it doesn't matter what it looks like tonight. Just find a way to win. That's the first order of business tonight. Now, you look for it. You love to be sharp. You love to be clean. Do all those things, and that's the goal. But the biggest goal right now is to find a way to win the game tonight. And can you do that? Can you avoid mistakes, penalties, turnovers, keep those at a minimum, and then make a couple of key plays and key moments? That will be a big storyline for tonight.
To that point, on Tiger Talk on Monday, Hugh Freeze was asked, other than a victory, what are some things you want to see from this team in the first game? He said, I don't care. I don't care. I just want to win. Yep. Hey, there's nothing else. Especially when, like we've been talking about leading up to this game, you're going against a pretty good Baylor team. And so as we kind of break down these matchups, Jason, we talked about it on the podcast this week. Probably the number one matchup that's been talked about going into this game for Auburn is avoiding those third and longs. And look, every team would like to do that in every single game. And I thought Jackson Arnold said it well this week. He was like, look, you're not going to convert all of those either. But as Auburn has kind of worked through what it thought maybe were some issues in pass protection, at the same time you're seeing the same defense, so you really don't know what issues you have and what you don't have. I just think for this offense, and Dave Aranda said it this week, if Auburn runs the ball well, Baylor's going to be in trouble. We know what Auburn has at wide receiver. We were talking about Damari Alston on the way up here. If Auburn's running backs have a good game, if Jackson Arnold has a good game running the ball, that is really going to open up everything, and most importantly, getting yourself in some third and shorts and avoiding clear pass rushing situations.
Yeah, can this rebuilt, much more physical offensive line and more talented offensive line group, can they impose their will? To me, that is as big a storyline as there is tonight, because a lot of that will determine how well Jackson Arnold plays. Because if you're third and long all night because you can't run the football, it's going to be a long night for your passing game. So can you do those things up front on the offensive line? Can you impose your will? Can you create some running lanes? And can you then set up where you can open up the entire playbook? If it's 2nd and 4 all night, then you got the entire playbook at your disposal. But if it's 2nd and 10, 2nd and 9, well, it limits what you can do. So offensive line for me is a big part of tonight.
Yeah, and as we talked about this week, setting up the playbook, opening up the rest of the playbook, when you have this RPO system that you feel like, hey, you went and got Jackson Arnold, he's going to do it, you feel like he was a good fit for it to be able to run this system, you want to have all of those options. Most importantly, I think for this game, look, Auburn would love to get it to these wide receivers. It's a numbers game for this RPO system. You're not going to have as many opportunities if Baylor's not scared of you running the football. And so on the opposite side of things, of course, this is a Baylor offense that was top 20 last year in scoring. Jake Spavital, Sawyer Robertson, the Mississippi State transfer at quarterback, did a great job with this group. Very experienced group, experience on the offensive line, experience at wide receiver. Running game defensively, as it just got a little bit hotter as well. Running game defensively for Auburn is also going to be interesting in this game. Bryson Washington went for 1,000 yards at Baylor. Their other couple guys are injured. And so on the flip side, if Auburn's able to slow down the run, I just think Baylor did such a good job on offense last year. You cannot allow them to be dynamic. Make them one-dimensional. Say, hey, Sawyer Robertson, you got to make a bunch of good throws in this game, because Auburn feels like its secondary is pretty darn good.
Yeah, and pass rush. Then if you said, hey, you can turn Keldrick Falk loose and Kieran Crawford and some of those guys, you'd feel pretty good about those if you know what's coming. So, yes, those first down runs for both teams tonight are going to be pivotal. And so, yeah, I agree. I think this defense, they're going to play a bunch of guys to try to stay fresh, and you're going to need it tonight because it is going to be really hot. It's going to be steamy and humid on this turf, and we can feel it right now. We've been out here for about 5 minutes, and we're both dripping already. It's going to be a factor tonight, and it's been a little cooler in Auburn the last couple of days. I think rotating more guys, which means success, because if they don't have to sub, then you can't sub. So if they're moving it and getting into a rhythm a little bit, it's going to be hard to get your guys off the field. So for Auburn, how much can you keep those guys fresh on defense is going to be a big story.
Yeah, that's a great point. We talked about it on the way coming up here. The travel roster for Auburn, 81, you said scholarship players, so they're going to have a lot of guys. And it's going to start with that defensive front rotation for them on the front seven, rotating a lot of guys. Like I mean, we were there at practice this week. Like, everyone who was not in a scout team jersey at defensive tackle, every single one of those guys is probably going to play in this game. For Auburn, Jason, I mean, it comes back to something Hugh Freeze talked about all offseason, the critical downs, as he has described them. Auburn felt like last season it was in a position to win so many games. They were in a position to win a few more games. Big mistakes here and there, a few moments here and there, you probably would have had a couple more wins. Good opportunity for Auburn to be on the winning end of those plays tonight, and one of those factors is going to be field goal kicking. It's going to be interesting to see what Alex McPherson looks like pregame, whether they go to him on field goals, whether Towns Magoo has more to do on field goals, whether that influences Auburn's play calling in fourth down situations. Regardless of what it looks like, Jason, you would, again, a win no matter what, but you would like to have some of those moments and look back on after tonight if you're Auburn and say, hey, this was a really critical moment, and instead of something bad happening, you went out there and you were on the winning side.
Right,
of it.
yeah, executing in those moments. So you're talking about third down, short yardage, red zone, field goals, special teams. Those are the plays that there's not as many of them as other plays in the game, but man, they become really valuable in moments. So those are plays that you watch tonight and see how they're able to respond.
Should be an excellent game. Really, really looking forward to it. 7 o'clock. Make sure you have your Fox channel set up to watch tonight. Keeping track of everything over at auburnundercover.com. Go and check us out. We're going to have a pregame video of Tiger Walk. We're going to have coverage for you guys throughout the game into Friday night and Saturday morning, and it should be a great one. Really, really looking forward to it. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the first edition of the season of the Pregame Blitz. For Jason Caldwell, I am Nathan King. We'll see you over at auburnundercover.com.